Good morning, welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Monday again. It is Monday, January the 26th. We're here to look at the new releases that are published this week in Cozy Mysteries today. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you are staying safe and warm. You had good books to read, but mostly staying safe and warm. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Monday night. Our next sprints are on tomorrow night, Tuesday night. Alright, Cozy Mysteries, published this week. First up, Tanya Koppes has a new one. Frosted Frappe Felony, Book 19 in Killer Coffee Mysteries. When winter drapes Honey Springs in snow, the Bean Hive coffee shop is the warm heart of town until a renovation uncovers a long-forgotten industrial freezer hidden in the walls. What lies within isn't just cold history, it's a crime that shakes the community and puts everyone on edge. Roxy Bloom, owner of the Bean Hive, has calm charm and a keen eye for routine. But when a decades-old secret turns her cozy refuge into a crime scene, she can't ignore the questions everyone else is ducking. With snow-covered boardwalks, hushed rumors, and townspeople who remember more than they admit, plus another dead body, Roxy must piece together the truth before history has another victim. A Guilty Confection by Ruth Hartzler, 8th in the Cupcake Cozy Mysteries. A television crew comes to Janestown to film an episode for a famous baking competition show. Eleanor, a devoted fan with far more enthusiasm than culinary skill, eagerly signs up as a contestant. But the sweet atmosphere turns sour when the competition's guest taster is poisoned. Suddenly, all participants, including Eleanor, fall under suspicion. With Detective Damon MacLeod still in Scotland to give evidence, Jane, Matilda, and Eleanor must sift through the clues, with dubious help from Mr. Crumbles, the naughty cat, and Billy the wild goat. Can this unconventional team serve justice before the killer strikes again? Buried in the Sand by J.C. Kenney, 4th in the Elmo Simpson Mysteries. Elmo Simpson, animal removal specialist, resort owner, and festival committee chair, expects a weekend of sandcastles and performances. Instead, there's a body buried in the sand the morning of the beach sculpture contest. When his friend and business partner Jordan Selassie becomes the prime suspect, Elmo is forced into another high-stakes investigation. The list of suspects read like a who's who of trouble: a hot-tempered wife, a secretive event promoter, and a local artist desperate for cash. Each hides secrets that could make or break the case. With the festival's reputation, the pest control business, and his friend's freedom on the line, Elmo must uncover the truth before Paradise Springs turns on him. Shock at the Sweetheart Ball, 20th in the Firefly Junction Cozy Mystery Series by London Lovett. Firefly Junction residents are abuzz with excitement for the town's annual Sweetheart Ball. Local reporter Sunny Taylor is both covering the story and looking forward to attending the dance with her own sweetheart, Detective Brady Jackson. Ruby Orson, a member of the city council and a local interior decorator, is in charge of this year's event, and she's been gathering a flurry of enemies along the way. When Ruby winds up dead, Sunny switches gears on her story. Instead of covering the event, she needs to find a killer. But Ruby has so many enemies it's hard to narrow down the suspect list. In the meantime, so much is happening in Sunny's personal life, she hardly knows which way to turn. The murder is important, but not nearly as stunning and life-changing as the things happening back at home. It seems Sunny Taylor's about to start a new chapter, a very new chapter, in her career and life. This is the final book, it says, in this series. End of row 1. Murder from A to Z by V.M. Burns, 11th in the Mystery Bookshop series. Nana Jo has volunteered her lawyer granddaughter Jenna to teach estate planning to retirees, with Sam providing her bookshop as the venue. But during the seminar entitled Getting Your Ducks in Order, it quickly becomes clear someone's up to foul play. When elderly Alva Tarkington, accompanied by her niece, sits down for a consultation, Sam realizes the woman's frequent blinking is actually Morse code, SOS. The sisters get her alone, and Alva tells them she believes her life is in danger and must change her will. Unfortunately, Alva is found dead the next day, seemingly from natural causes, but Nana Jo and the sisters suspect otherwise. In between penning her historical mystery set in 1939 as England declares war on Germany and Lady Elizabeth Marsh pursues stolen paintings and a traitor, Sam teams up with the senior sleuths of Shady Acres to search for motives, beginning with Alva's family. They soon learn not everyone is who they say they are, and someone is more qualified to teach a class on cold-blooded murder. ... The Murder Game by John Curran. Oh, this is a nonfiction. Okay. Alright. Moving on. The Inn at Holiday Bay, Promise in the Proposal by Kathy Daly, 38th in the Inn at Holiday Bay series. Christmas may be packed away, but in Holiday Bay the chaos is just getting started. Colt's first case as a newly hired county detective is anything but routine. A shocking murder, a web of buried secrets, and 3 long-forgotten cold cases left behind by his predecessor collide in ways Colt never saw coming, and solving the present crime may depend on unlocking the past. While Abby and Lacey pour their energy into a community fundraiser, Abby and Colt juggle blueprints for the home they hope to build together. At the same time, Georgia finds herself struggling with unexpected baby blues, adding one more emotional wrinkle to the already busy season. And just when Abby thinks that life might slow down, Colt and McKee prepare to ask her a question she won't be able to refuse. In Holiday Bay, life, love, and murder have a way of arriving all at once, etc. Death by Irish Coffee by Alex Erickson, 15th in the Bookstore Cafe Mysteries. Chrissy is ready to provide one of the essential ingredients for Irish coffee this St. Patrick's Day, though without a liquor license she'll have to team up with a local bar owner to complete the recipe. It's a perfect chance to distract herself from her upcoming wedding and her worries about how her beloved cat will get along with his new canine step-siblings. As she doles out some much-needed caffeine the day after the festivities, she learns that the town is dealing with something worse than a hangover: homicide. Like many a reveler before him, the bar owner ended up green around the gills, but after he passed out, he never woke up. Now, between brewing, book selling, and house hunting, Chrissy is reviewing a whole parade of suspects. ... End of that road. A Spirited Supper at Dundoon Castle, 2nd in the Food and Spirits Mysteries by Darcy Hannah. Now that Bunny's entrees come with a side of the other side, it comes in handy to have a grandma who's friendly with the elderly owners of a haunted Scottish castle. Those two things have nothing to do with each other. During Bunny's childhood, she heard all about Dundoon's bloody history and the ghostly piper who roamed the grounds, and soon she'll be visiting the ancient place with her ghost hunter and psychic co-stars. The annual bagpipe competition in the late piper's honor will make for some good footage as well. After Bunny serves a feast fit for a 17th century king, including lamb chops with plenty of fresh herbs, she heads outdoors for the ghost hunt. But in the dark, dense fog, someone fatally plunges from the clifftop over the loch. The sound that follows is a mournful, otherworldly bagpipe. And once the body of another perished piper is retrieved, Bunny is determined to solve this Highlands homicide and prevent a killer from getting off scot-free. Includes delicious recipes. It says, Masked Intentions by Kara Lacey, second in the Camera Club Mysteries. It's autumn in Vermont, and the mountains are ablaze with color just in time for Stonebridge's annual Harvest Festival. The village is swarming with leaf-peeping tourists, and the celebration is off to a jubilant start as residents gather for their favorite kickoff event, a masquerade party on the village green. But the crisp fall air turns chilling when a party guest is found lifeless and another is whisked away in an ambulance on the verge of death. Photographer Bobby Brooks vows to leave the investigation to the professionals until a tearful plea from a friend causes her to shift her focus from merriment to murder. The Stonebridge Keep It Snappy Shutter Club is on another case as Bobby plunges into the world of herbal poisonings and masked motives. The truth is concealed in the details captured through her lens, but as everything comes into focus, Bobby finds herself in danger once again. Can she unmask the killer before the killer zooms in on her? Kat McGee has a new one. Trouble with Tarot. It says it's first in the Mystic Haven Tea Shop Mysteries. Fiona is having a spectacularly bad day. As a personal assistant to the rich and famous, she's handled her fair share of stressful situations, but navigating Maine's foggy back roads with no phone signal and an empty gas tank wasn't on her agenda. With hair frizzed and heels sinking into the sand, she stumbles upon the peculiar town of Mystic Haven. Desperate for directions and a strong cup of anything caffeinated, she steps into the Mystic Haven tea shop. Instead of help, she finds an eccentric shop owner with violet eyes and a knack for knowing too much. Before Fiona can make sense of the tarot card reader's cryptic chatter, she discovers the woman has been murdered. And in the aftermath, the locals aren't exactly throwing a tea party for an outsider. Now she's stuck with a sarcastic Siamese cat who insists he's her magical mentor because talking cats are apparently a thing, a deck of tarot cards that won't stay in one place, and spells that tend to backfire in the most inconvenient ways. Clearing her name was never in her skill set, but neither was accidentally turning the town fountain into a giant cup of tea. With Mystic Haven's strangeness unraveling faster than you can say double, toil, and trouble, Fiona must embrace her newfound witchy abilities to solve the murder before she becomes the next victim. After all, in a town where everyone is hiding something, it might just take a little magic to sleuth like a real witch. Oh boy. Monster in the Moonlight by Annalise Ryan, fourth in the Monster Hunter Mysteries. When a dead body turns up along a lonely country byway in rural Wisconsin, rumors of the Beast of Bray Road, a werewolf-like creature that is said to inhabit the area, are reinvigorated. For years, locals have reported sightings of the terrifying creature, but this would be its first verified attack. Marks on the dead woman's body indicate a mauling by some kind of large animal. The wounds, plus deep scratches on the victim's car, convince the community that the legendary beast is not only real, but responsible for this brutal killing. If the police have any hope of solving this crime, they're going to need an expert. Enter cryptozoologist Morgan Carter. She's investigated sightings of eerie creatures throughout the upper Midwest. If anyone is going to track down the killer, it's Morgan, but she may find that the beast is not the worst thing lurking on Bray Road. End of that road. A Field Guide to Murder by Michelle L. Cullen. Once a globe-trotting anthropologist, Harry Lancaster is now certain that all of his grand adventures are behind him. Recently widowed and suffering from a fractured hip, Harry spends his days and nights behind a pair of binoculars, nose deep in his neighbor's affairs. His millennial caregiver, Emma, is determined to get him out of his armchair and back into the world. Fate interferes when Harry's mysterious neighbor, Sue, phones pleading for help, but instead of rescuing her, Harry and Emma find Sue dead, poisoned days after a break-in at Sue's house. Harry resolves to find out what happened, and Emma insists on going along for the ride. Together they discover motives and suspects abound in Harry's quaint condominium community, putting them both in the crosshairs of a cold-blooded killer. Very Deadly Pancakes by Angela Mabel. First in Murder on the Menu series. A plate of pancakes shouldn't be deadly, but when the town's most sought-after bachelor drops dead after breakfast, sisters Ruby and Pearl Doyle find themselves at the center of a murder investigation. With rumors of poisoned berries, a scandalous love affair, and growing accusations against the Pancake Sisters, the duo must scramble to clear their names. As they dig into the victim's past, they uncover a stack of secrets, scandals, and lies that could lead them to the real killer. But someone's got a deadly appetite for revenge, and with one wrong move, they could find themselves in a batter of trouble. Monterey Bay Malice by 7-Star Good. Saren, I have no idea. Third in the Amanda Warren Cozy Animal Mysteries. Dog groomer Amanda Warren is counting on Ocean Woods Butterfly Music and Art Festival to give her business a boost. But when the festival organizer is electrocuted on stage, the show threatens to close before the curtain even rises. I would think so. As the sabotage spreads from collapsing scaffolding to fried soundboards, Amanda's psychic, sarcastic, and slightly amnesiac cat, Grok, is caught in the crossfire. Determined to uncover who's behind the deadly accidents, Amanda dives into a mystery brimming with rivalry, revenge, and rock star egos. With the killer still on the loose, can Amanda and Grok solve the case before the festival goes up in smoke, or will Oceanwood's biggest event become their final performance? The Vanished Heart by Diane Harmon. 19th in the Ozarks Cozy Mystery Series. Dilla's life in Clover, Missouri has finally found its rhythm. Her vintage shop is thriving, her relationship with Bryce is deepening, and the ghosts of her past are beginning to rest. But when a lead surfaces about Lydia Bland, a young woman who vanished without a trace over 40 years ago, Della can't walk away. Lydia Bland was 17 when she disappeared on an April evening in 1978. She was supposed to walk 6 blocks home. She never arrived. The town wrote her off as another runaway or tragic victim, but Della has discovered evidence suggesting Lydia didn't die, she ran, and she might still be living in Wichita, Kansas. With Bryce and her faithful St. Bernard Moose by her side, Della embarks on a road trip across Kansas in search of answers. What begins as a simple investigation becomes a journey into a decades-old mystery that touches on everything Clover tried to forget: the tangled secrets of the Denton family, the disappeared children, and the people who chose silence over truth. When Della finally tracks down the woman who's been hiding in plain sight for 40 years, she uncovers a story of survival, fear, and impossible choices. Lydia didn't just run from Clover, she ran from someone who made her believe that staying meant death, and that the people she loved were safer if she vanished forever. Now, after 4 decades of silence, Lydia must decide: stay hidden in the quiet life she's built, or return to face the family that never stopped searching and the truth that's been waiting all these years. Because some hearts vanish to survive, and some truths refuse to stay buried. That was a whole lot of words. Lights Out by Linda Batten Johnson, 17th in the Mystery on Lilac Lane series. When Susan Lyle purchases a community playhouse in quaint Wisteria, she never expects the townfolk to believe the building is cursed. Ignoring the superstitions, Susan is determined to make her theater venture a success. She finds willing volunteers who become her friends as she prepares to stage the inaugural production, an old-fashioned melodrama. But unexplained things happen, and the local actors all seem to have secrets they don't want exposed. When she opens a large costume wardrobe in front of her new friends and discovers a dead body, she fears the curse might be real and her theater jinxed. Refusing to give up her dream of owning a successful playhouse, Susan vows to find the killer, explain the mysterious happenings, and save her theater. Will she succeed, or will it be lights out? Title card. We'll stop there because the bell is about to ring. Everybody remember where we parked. We finished at Lights Out and about to start the white cover one. Alrighty, that is it for now. On Wednesday we will look at the crime fiction and thrillers, and then on Friday we'll look at the rest of these cozy mysteries and anything else left over. Hope you have a good Monday. Again, be safe. Stay warm. If you don't have to go out, don't go out. You can wait a day or more. I don't have any sprints tonight. Our next sprints are tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hope you have a good day. And as the banner says, don't be a don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Have a good day and God bless.